You sit at a table, 3 cards in front of you, 1 reference line, 3 comparison lines. It's obvious which one matches. Everyone else in the room says the wrong answer. You look at the lines, you look at them again, then you speak. You say the wrong answer. This is not a moral failing. It's an experiment called the Solomon Asch Experiment. A student told they're taking part in a perception test. The subject believes they're being tested on eyesight, but they are not. They are being tested on the cost of disagreeing. Today, we follow one man in that chair. We'll watch what happens when the truth meets a room full of falsehoods, and why most of us give in sooner than we think. The year is 1951. At Swarthmore College in Pennsylvania, psychologist Solomon Asch prepares a classroom. 1 seat is reserved for you. The others are already filled when you walk in. The researcher explains, you'll be taking part in a perception test. All you have to do is compare line lengths. The first round begins. Everyone answers correctly. You relax. Easy. The second round begins. The correct choice is obvious. Line A. The first person says, C. You frown. Must have misheard. The second person, C. Third, C. Your throat tightens. Your pulse jumps. Every instinct screams to correct them, but something heavier presses down. You hear yourself say, C. In later rounds, the pattern continues. Sometimes you resist, sometimes you yield. By the 10th round, you no longer check the lines, you check their faces. After the final card, the researcher thanks everyone and reveals the truth. The others smile, actors. Across all participants, 75% conformed at least once. Some denied afterwards that they ever doubted the lines. Others admitted they knew the truth. They just didn't want to stand out. This was Asch's revelation, that perception can be rewritten by the pressure of the room, not by logic, by loneliness. But what if one person in the group breaks the pattern? Not the subject, an actor. One voice saying the truth. The spell breaks. Conformity plummets. One dissenting voice frees the rest. But why do we even lie? There are 2 particular reasons. Informational influence. We think the group knows something we don't. If everyone else sees it differently, maybe we're the ones who misunderstood. Maybe the lighting tricked our eyes. Maybe we missed a detail. In that moment, we trade confidence for safety, assuming the crowd must see what we can't. And that instinct isn't random. For most of human history, being wrong alone could be fatal. If the group ran from a sound in the bushes, the few who stayed behind didn't pass on their genes. Trusting the collective once kept us alive. Normative influence. We fear social rejection. Even when we know we're right, standing alone feels dangerous. We sense the quiet judgment in the room, the silence, the weight of being the odd one out. That fear also has roots deep in evolution. To survive, early humans needed the group for warmth, food, protection. Exile wasn't just loneliness, it was death. So our brains learned a rule stronger than logic. Belonging is survival. We'd rather be wrong together than right alone. In Asch's room, both forces push. The subject's heart races. The choice is not intellectual. It's emotional. Conforming costs something. Not in money, in clarity, in autonomy, in how we update our beliefs. Sometimes conformity smooths conversation and keeps it going. The problem comes when the cost is large, when entire groups normalize falsehood, or when truth bears a social penalty. The Asch experiment is small and exact, but its point is vast. We are social animals. We value belonging. Sometimes that value nudges us away from accuracy. The choice we see in the lab, to speak truth or to go along, repeats itself 1,000 times a day. In classrooms, at kitchen tables, in politics, everywhere. Unfortunately, it's abused sometimes. The real experiment is ongoing. It's us. This was our video about the Asch Conformity Experiment. These videos are a lot of work. We would appreciate a positive reaction if you liked it. See you in the next one.